A 10-year-old boy picked up a gun and shot a 7-month-old baby. The baby's name was Comey Parker. She was an infant. She had been alive for 7 months on this earth, and now she is dead because a 19-year-old father stored a loaded firearm underneath the mattress, within reach of a child who had touched it before. What an evil man. What an avoidable death.
Blood on the grass won't wash away. Undetected foot.
June 25th, 2026, a Friday afternoon in North St. Louis, just after 4 o'clock, the Baden neighborhood, the 8400 block of North Broadway near Halls Ferry Road, a working class area, the kind of block where people sit on porches in the summer heat and mind their business. On this particular Friday, the temperatures were climbing towards the 90s. Children were inside. That fact would matter within the hour. St. Louis police received a call, a shooting. A child had been shot, not a teenager, not a toddler, an infant 7 months old. The officers who arrived at the scene found something no training prepares you for. Police say the responding officers did what they call a scoop and go. That is not a medical term. It is not a clinical procedure. It is a decision made in the final seconds before a child dies. When there is no time to wait for an ambulance, they grabbed Comey Parker from the shooting scene and placed her in the back seat of a police car. One officer climbed into the back with her, continuing life-saving measures while the car moved. Other officers blocked traffic at intersections. They ran lights. They cleared lanes. Every second was a calculation. How fast can you drive through a city at 4 in the afternoon without killing someone else? It was not enough. Comey Parker was pronounced dead at an area hospital. She was 7 months old. The next morning, Saturday, June 26, 2026, St. Louis City Police spokesperson Mitch McCoy announced that investigation had identified the shooter, a 10-year-old boy. A 10-year-old, not a teenager, not an adolescent, navigating poor judgment. A child, a boy who had not yet reached the 5th grade. Police said he picked up a gun and he shot Comey Parker. By Saturday afternoon, he had been issued a first-degree murder charge in juvenile court, based on research by First Alert 4. This appears to be the youngest person in Missouri history ever charged with murder. Missouri did not have a minimum age to charge a child with serious felony, including murder, until 2024. That year, a state law set the minimum age for a minor to be certified as an adult at 12 years old. The boy is 10. Under the law passed in 2024, he cannot be tried as an adult. He will be processed through juvenile system, whatever that means for a child who took a life before he was old enough to understand what a life is. But the 10-year-old is not the only person responsible for what happened in that house, not even close. Court documents identify the infant's father as Camarion Parnell, 19 years old. He has been charged with 1 count of second-degree felony murder, 1 count of endangering the welfare of a child resulting in death, and 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child creating a substantial risk. Parnell is being held with no bond. And the details of why are worse. This is at the scene told police that the 10-year-old boy picked up a gun and shot Comey Parker. When officers spoke with the 10-year-old, he told them the gun came from. He said Parnell had stored the firearm underneath a mattress in a bedroom in the house. The boy said he knew where the gun was. He said he had been accessible to him, not locked away, not secured, not hidden, accessible for an extended period of time. The 10-year-old told police he had taken the gun out before. He had touched it before. He knew where it was and he knew he could reach it. And on June 25th, 2026, he reached it again. When police spoke with Parnell, he confirmed the gun was his. He confirmed he had placed it underneath the mattress, exactly as the 10-year-old described, a loaded firearm stored under a mattress, in a home with a 7-month-old baby, a 7-year-old child, and a 10-year-old boy. A 19-year-old father who knew children lived in that house, who knew those children moved through those rooms. who left a weapon in a place any one of them could find. There was a child in the home, a 7-year-old, present at the time of the shooting. We do not know what the 7-year-old saw. We do not know where they were standing when the gun went off. We know they were there in the house in that moment. 3 children, 1 firearm, 1 infant dead, 1 10-year-old facing a murder charge, and a 19-year-old father who made every wrong decision it is possible to make as a parent. The 10-year-old will not face adult court. Missouri's 2024 law ensures that he will move through the juvenile system, a system designed for rehabilitation for correction. For the possibility that a child who did something monstrous can become something other than a monster. Whether that system is equipped for a case like this is a question no one in Missouri has had to answer before, because there has never been a case like this before. Camarion Parnell faces second-degree felony murder. Felony murder is a legal doctrine that holds a person responsible for a death that occurs during the commission of a dangerous felony. In this case, the endangerment of a child. The law says that if your criminal negligence creates the conditions for someone's death, you are liable for that death, even if you did not pull the trigger. Camarion Parnell did not pull the trigger. He did something worse. He created the conditions. He left the weapon. He left the children. And he walked away from the consequences of that decision until the consequences found his daughter. This was the second minor shot and killed in St. Louis in 1 week, the second child in 7 days. That fact does not require commentary, it requires grief. Every layer of this case is a failure. The gun underneath the mattress, a failure of responsibility. A loaded firearm, accessible to children for an extended period of time. A failure of basic human judgment. A 10-year-old boy who had handled the weapon before, who knew where it was, who had been left unsupervised long enough to retrieve it, aim it, and fire. A failure of supervision. A 7-month-old baby in the home where any of this was possible. A failure of protection. Camarion Parnell is 19 years old. He was a teenager when Comey Parker was born. He was a teenager when she died, and now he is in a cell held without bond, facing second-degree murder because he could not be bothered to keep a loaded gun away from a 10-year-old child. What an evil man. What a pointless death. Comey Parker was 7 months old. She had a name. She had a life that had just begun, and it ended in a room where a gun was more accessible than safety, where a child was more dangerous than anyone expected, and where the adult in the house and the one person responsible for keeping her alive made sure she never had a chance. The 10-year-old will face a system that does not know what to do with him. Camarion Parnell will face a jury that does not need to look far for a verdict. And Comey Parker will never face anything again.
Blood on the grass won't wash away undetected.